Hello and welcome back to the Gaming 5. Now I've got a lot to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. First, visually, the double or triple cheeseburger isn't so bad once you get a brushed titanium skin on it. Additionally, the plastic they used is still a little on the cheap side. They're just not going for that elegant look they did on the original and first Slim of the PS3. Furthermore, while the OG PS4's fans could get pretty loud under load, this PS4 Pro is generally quieter. I say generally because the fans can also get pretty loud, but they generally don't. Instead, what I found is that some patch adjustment on the fan curve is needed, as I heard the fan RPM fluctuating during certain games. Though I do have to note the brushed titanium skin does actually help quiet it down just a little bit more because you're reducing case resonance. Now, some reminders from my unboxing. There is an extra USB port on the back, which is great, and the controller actually has more of a gray to the D-pad, analog stick, and triggers, as well as the backing. In addition, they added a little window at the top of the touchpad so you could see that the LED light was on, if you cared. Of course, a continued topic of some contention is that this actually lacks a 4K UHD Blu-ray player, and I know that was a cost-cutting factor, but when you're marketing this as a 4K gaming console, it's kind of a miss to not have that. And that brings us to the meat and potatoes of this review, 4K gaming. First, some simple maths. Math? Yes, and even though what I'm about to tell you isn't quite exact, it does give you a good ballpark on the rendering performance and power needed. First off, did I just blank out? I might be the first Asian to ever blank out right before the math. For a given game on given hardware architecture, moving from 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second takes roughly, again not exactly, twice the power because you're rendering twice as many frames per second. In terms of the resolution, moving from 1080p to 2160p, in which you're doubling the horizontal and vertical resolution, requires, as you might guess, approximately 4 times as much power. Again, this is not exact, but it does give you a pretty good ballpark of what to expect. In the case of the PlayStation 4 Pro, it's working with the 4.2 teraflop GPU, as opposed to the original PS4's 1.84 teraflops. If you do some simple maths, that's 2.3 times as powerful. This means that people stating they would prefer 30 frames per second games to all become 60 are actually making a very reasonable request. Expecting 4K gaming is not. Sony handled this by giving developers a clever way to achieve higher resolutions. Checkerboard 4K, or Faux-K as the internet is coining it. I don't have time to explain it in detail, but as its name suggests, it's very similar to the method used in Killzone Shadowfall's multiplayer, but instead of vertical slices, it's a checkerboard. This does work to increase overall resolution, and it does look noticeably better, and it does make marketing this as a 4K gaming console a lot easier. But at the end of the day, it's just not a true 4K gaming console. Not only that, but many games require patches and haven't really made use of the extra power. Uncharted 4 looks absolutely phenomenal in 1440p. Ratchet & Clank looks mind-blowingly good in Super Sampled 1080p. Infinite Warfare looks phenomenal in Checkerboard 4K. Can you guess which game is easiest to market on the Pro here? And that leads us to our conclusion where things get a bit interesting. If you plan on getting a PS4, don't even bother with the PS4 Slim. Save up an extra month or two and get the PS4 Pro. Here's why. Games right now are being made around the PS4 and then enhanced up towards the PS4 Pro. As time goes on, that will start occurring in reverse. Games will be made around the PS4 Pro and then downscaled to the PS4. If you have to get a PS4 right this instant, I still say get the PS4 Pro, but we're looking at about maybe 6 months before the gaming landscape has really smoothed out around the PS4 Pro, as many games right now do actually exhibit issues or lack of intent around PS4 Pro support. To summarize that all into one sentence, this is the smarter buy, it's just not ready yet. That's it for today. I'll see you next time on the Gaming 5. Or will I?